Good morning, Ashes to Rubies family. Welcome to our live feed.
Or welcome to the recording of our live feed.
Yeah, the recording.
If you're watching later.
If you're watching later.
Lots of people watch later.
Millions.
That's not what I meant. I just meant
No, I know.
Of the people who watch, many of them are watching the recording.
What wisdom
Which
and
is fine.
do you have any wisdom and insight for a Monday morning?
No.
Nothing?
Just get her done.
Get her done. Oh, today's a get her done.
Get her done.
There's nothing wrong. That's great wisdom and insight.
It is winter, but I'm grateful for the blue sky. Not a gray sky. Gloomy gray sky in winter is especially challenging. There was an extreme cold weather warning on my phone, but then when I looked this morning, it was -2 or something.
I just forgot.
It was weird.
I think we were supposed to get snow for 3 days and it forgot as well.
Yeah.
And we had an hour of big fluffy snowflakes. Although in Canada, in my experience, when in the winter, when it's crystal blue sky and it's so bright and sunny, typically that could mean it's either minus 20 or minus 20 million.
Well, when I grew up in the prairies, it was very cold, but very blue sky.
And that what they say,
it's
a dry cold, so it's not that cold.
No. That's not what that means.
Minus a million.
That is not what that means.
A million.
The dry cold means that you don't realize how frozen you are, and you don't realize that you have frostbite until it's too late.
That's true. In Ottawa, we have a wet cold where it's it says it's minus 20, but it feels like it's minus 39.
Which means that you feel like you got dunked in a bathtub and thrown outside. And so it's just super chilly on the ends. You're always cold, even if it's only minus 10.
I went out in my new winter boots that I got for Christmas. Beautiful. My feet weren't cold at all. So thank you for that. Okay. And I just want to commend you in the beginning of January in the, kind of the direction that we want to point our canoe is one of the things that we wanted to do is be more prepared in the kitchen. And so I just want to commend you. I know that you started talking about food and then I got distracted. And you made the whole list for the whole week of what we're going to plan on eating and what we need to get at the grocery store. I thought I saw the list this morning and I was like, I just wanted to commend you.
Thanks for acknowledging that you dipped out on me.
I did dip out after
You're
Monday.
You're talking to me, but I don't care.
We were discussing Monday food. So Monday today, we got sausage from the butcher. This is last week, a bag of sausage. It's better than sausage sticks. I like the bag of sausage.
We always take sausage out of the casing anyway.
Yeah. So I may as well get it in a bag. So we got the sausage, and then you do a beautiful vegetable called spaghetti squash. And it's like spaghetti, and you mix that with the vegetables and some olives and maybe some tomatoes, some onions, goat cheese. Mm-hmm. And it's a really nice dinner. So I'm excited for dinner today. And you planned it.
And I wanted to point out that a few people have reached out that they're not getting notifications when we go live. So if you're watching this later, you might want to go back to both either Facebook or YouTube, wherever you watch it, and you can click subscribe and turn on your notifications.
Turn on notifications. Yeah. Click
Facebook
subscribe.
Made some changes, so we're not showing up in people's... People are saying they don't get their notifications anymore.
Yeah, nuts.
So you have to click on the little 3 dots, and then it says more, and then it says notification. You have to turn on your notification to go live.
Yeah. Okay. But typically 5 days a week, we are here at 9 a.m. We try to be here at 9 a.m.
Currently.
We
totally understand that might not be the best time for you.
And today,
that's okay.
We nailed it. All right. What do we got for our contemplative meditation? Right, this is a meditation where we bring to light an idea in the life of recovery from codependency to substance abuse and everything in between. And so today we are going to start that conversation.
Read and reflect.
Nice.
All right. So this reading is actually from an Al-Anon daily reader book. And I'm just going to read it as it is, and then we'll talk about it. So we come to Al-Anon, which is the family group of Alcoholics Anonymous. We come to 12-step group in order to share experience, strength, and hope with each other. Most of us at first come to get, not to give or share. What we want to get is sobriety for the alcoholic. We soon learn that this is beyond us. We are there to find serenity for ourselves through giving and sharing. Sometimes people who come to Al-Anon desperate and helpless partake of the healing interchange of the group. And then, after the alcoholic has found sobriety, They feel they don't need Al-Anon any longer. Once over their own hurdle, they forget their obligation to help others. Today's reminder: living with an alcoholic does not mean only a drinking alcoholic. It can also mean living with a person who is remaking their life so as to live without alcohol. If at any time we needed alcohol, the Al-Anon, if at any time we needed Al-Anon, the need does not vanish when sobriety comes into the picture. It is by continuing to give of ourselves that we continue to receive. In helping others, we continue to enrich our own lives. The quote of the day. This is just the quote of this page. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due when it is within the power of thy hand to do it, says the Bible. I pray that I may not be tempted by indifference or selfishness to withhold from others the help I have received. Did that make sense?
Yeah, in my head it makes sense.
So I've gotten help, and then I feel better, and so I leave.
So then the concept and the meditation is starting with the Al-Anon, the person in the addicted relationship. So you have an alcoholic, and this was our story. You have an alcoholic.
I had an alcoholic.
You want to go to these meetings for him to get sober, and then you're like, oh dang, they want me to get sober. Like, I'm not drunk. And then they're saying, well, your sobriety, your life is your own, and all of the problems of your own making, and you're offended. And then they say you need God, and you need to quit playing God, which you're probably more offended. And then you go through this
because I'm really good at playing God.
You're a professional God. And then you go through the action part of things, and you realize that you're being driven by fear and not by God, and that's what's separating you. And then you find God, and you have this experience, and it's not contingent on what happens to the alcoholic. And then the other part of it is when the alcoholic gets sober, they're suggesting that a lot of people in your position would rest on their laurels and go, I got the solution. Life is great. Let's go live.
And I would say that's probably true. Like, we could read this book, we could read this page from the AA perspective, also from the alcoholic perspective. They go to the rooms to get relief, go to the rooms, and then, oh, I'm good. Actually, yeah, I got my life back. I'm sober now. I have a job. I have my family, and I don't need to stay here. But the reality is that part of the beautiful part of this whole fellowship process is that it's this constant like interchange, and I actually can keep growing throughout my entire life. It's not like I just grow to like this point and then, oh, I don't need this anymore. No, I want to keep growing. And we have really seen that through 12-step groups, that's like a really good way to continue to grow and to learn. It's not like I get to this certain place and like, yeah, I'm good now.
But continuing to grow in my experience with God, to be able to be useful to others. And so I think that's one of the challenges of recovery. It's like all of a sudden we kind of enter into a relationship with God, and we think that the problem is our drinking or relationships. And then because we have contact with God, those things actually are solved, and then we go about our business.
And if the God thing turns you off, there's a phrase in the big book that reminds us about contempt prior to investigation. And if you're doing such a great job at running your life, wouldn't it look better? Maybe you're not doing such a great job at running your life, and maybe it's worth investigating if there is another way.
And then I think we have a responsibility, those that have found the solution, a spiritual solution, is to share that way more than our addiction, because most people in addiction get that. And I think that there's a line of transmission that, yeah, I've lost everything and I've done this, and I don't get into the depths of the consequence of what alcohol did to me, but I talk about what it did for me. And then now I talk about what God does for me and through me and to me. And that's what I'm excited to share. And then help lead people into that. And our job is to hold their hands into the hand of God and then release them and not hold on to them. Because I think a lot of times we could do that as well. So the meditation today is simply finding the solution of God, growing in that solution, and be effective message bearers because of it. And so that's all we got. That's all I got. Keep the peace, be good behavior, and we will see you tomorrow at 9. Goodbye, everyone.